Well, council, just a few announcements tonight. Birthdays. Laura Guy Rice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday on the 20th coming up.
Well, thank you. Yep.
39, feeling good, and
I'm 39.
Sure.
I'm not even there yet.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. God, I'm insulted.
Hold on, let me do that calculator out. You know, I've always learned the first liar never has a chance. Apparently, I learned that lesson right there.
Coming from a financial aid.
That's pretty You might want to check those decimals.
Yeah.
Also, let's see, today's Wednesday, February 12th, 11 a.m., Public Police Department Community Room is Judge Hager's surprise retirement party. Don't tell him. Apparently, I'm announcing it on television tonight, but that's okay. We broadcast for a while. I'm sure he watches our TV station religiously. So with that, February 12th at 11, we are canceling court that day, and we're going to back up some of the items there, move them on, and enjoy Judge Hager's retirement party. He is retiring, and his term will be through April. However, he has decided to retire now. Before that, so we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is next to the mayor's announcements, appointments. So this is a resolution. We have moved this up in the agenda to accommodate the rest of the agenda. That way, we don't have a lot of Mr. Ricketts sitting here the entire time. Not that you wouldn't enjoy what we do here, but otherwise, we'll just get on to this resolution. Resolution number 14-R-08, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, appointing Ryan Ricketts to the position of presiding municipal court judge to fill the vacancy created by the retirement of presiding judge Andrew J. Hager, Jr. Need a motion?
Motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Mr. Krischke, give us the overview, sir.
Well, I can do that. It's a little complicated in that Judge Hager term runs until technically April 28th, which is the second Tuesday of that month, and it's kind of in our ordinance, second Tuesday of an even year is when the term would expire. But Judge Hager is retiring. Actually, I don't think he would mind. He has to retire because judges, municipal judges have to retire at a certain age. So he's reluctantly leaving the bench. He's served us well, I believe, since 1998. He's been our municipal judge, and he's well respected here in the Republic as well as all of Greene County and some of the neighboring counties as well. So with that, we had to go out and fill that position. Angela Hamlet, our HR director, she went out to posted the position in a number of different publications. We got quite a few applications in, went through our process, interviewed a number of different candidates. Ryan Ricketts has been one of our backup municipal judges for quite a few years. And through the process, through an interview with the mayor, we chose Ryan to be nominated tonight for municipal judge. It is just filling the gap. So tonight the ordinance or the resolution is just to fill that period between next Wednesday, the 19th, is when the first municipal court will be, through April 28th. And then we'll be back in front of council again with another resolution and then a 2-year term for the next judge. As well, at that particular time, we'll also announce the backups too for the next 2-year period.
Also, might be worth mentioning, I think, Ms. Ricketts, you were the last elected judge in this area. Is that correct?
I think that's correct, yeah.
So then we went to
for the City of Republic.
That is correct, for the City of Republic. So just going to give you guys a heads up. Questions, comments, discussion, either for Mr. Krischke, for myself, or Mr. Ricketts? Anything at all? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries, 8-0. Thank you very much. Nothing on public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to anything not on the agenda, please step forward, state your name, sign in, and give us your best 3 minutes.
Yes, we'll be there. Where are you going?
Seeing that we only have 2 citizens here. Tim and Robin, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Nope.
Okay, just checking. Seeing none, citizen participation closed. Need a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second on consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. On the financial report, welcome Laura Galrine, please give us an overview.
I should have thought of then, shouldn't I? I didn't think I was even 39. Wow.
Well, this is gonna be up to you tonight, it's,
Oh, I gotta get over that now.
You can make it as low as you want.
You said 20.
Yeah, 20.
I heard.
Well, that's what you heard, okay.
Please give us the overview of the financial
And what
report.
you have in front of you, usually at this meeting, you don't get the sales tax report. I thought, might as well go ahead and finish out 2013, received the final sales tax today. And, as you can tell, the 1% general sales tax for the year, ended up 2.69% over the prior year, and we exceeded the budget that we set. And, also for the 1/8 buyer sales tax, was happy to tell, Dwayne what the December amount was, and that we exceeded the budget slightly for, what we expected for the first few months. So that was so next month we'll start with 2014 numbers. The financial report, I just want to remind you, some of you haven't lived through this with me, but we are on the accrual basis of accounting. So this January statement will show revenue and also expenditures that will need to be put back to 2013. So for the first few months until the journal entries are done and get ready for the audit, the financial statements will look a little bit awkward. Yeah. So, and as a refresher, revenues, we can receive up to 60 days after the end of the year. So that's a period of time that I will wait to record revenues back in 2013. Expenditures, there's no limit. As long as the purchase was made, we received, if it was for goods, we received them in 2013, or for services that were provided in 2013. I will keep on sending those expenditures back to the prior year. So that's kind of unlimited. So at this point, all I can say is, for the first month that we have here, it looks good right now. So that's kind of yeah. So if there's any questions on any specific line items, anything, it's
Questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Seeing none, need a motion to approve financial report?
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries, thank you, Laura.
thank you.
Mr. Krischke, anything from staff, sir?
Just one quick thing, David had provided me with an overview of where we stand so far with our snow removal costs and, yeah, it's,
We're not done. That's fine.
the cost through this, not through today's event, this is through the 8th, which was the one a couple days ago, which I guess would have been Friday or Saturday. $38,810 is so far what's cost us. That is materials, that is overtime expenses, that's equipment repairs, equipment usage, $38,810. I don't remember the exact number that we have budgeted per year, but I can just tell you it's substantially over what we had budgeted for the year. And what's really worth mentioning, and we tell as many people as we possibly can, of course, we have limited amount of equipment. We can't afford to have all the equipment we would need for a major storm because it just doesn't happen that often. So we do the best that we can with the equipment we can and that we have. We obviously work on our, what we consider our snow routes, which are all of the main roadways, Elm, Main Street, Hines, anything that's not a state route. State route is maintained by MoDOT. Some of the roads are even maintained a little bit by the county, but they do a very good job of taking care of those. Once they get done with those main routes, then they get into the main roads for the subdivision, and then they get further into the interior roads after they get done with those main ones. So a lot of people get confused, and they don't understand why their streets haven't seen a plow. It's because they're concentrating on all of the main roads. We have worked through the school district to make sure that we overlay their transportation routes onto our map so that we make sure we're in coordination with them when it comes time to do snow removal, and we, take care of their routes that are most important to them as well. The other last thing I want to mention is salt. If you haven't seen the news or read the newspaper, salt supply is extremely low. We have not received a salt delivery since December 23rd. So we have a little bit left in stockpile over there by the wastewater treatment plant, not a whole lot. So we've been using it sparingly, mostly on intersections and any hills or curves that we have to salt. That's where we primarily keep that focused on. So everybody over there does a great job, but it does mount up.
All right. Thanks, sir. Anything, Mr. Jackson?
No, sir.
All right. King, you in the house?
Sorry about that.
Sorry. If Wayne's gonna come to the meeting, he's.
You were talking.
Wayne, welcome. We haven't seen you for a while.
Nice to be here.
It's good to have you.
Good to
King,
have.
give us an update.
First of all, I want to say we held our father-daughter dance Friday night at the community center. Just a couple shy of 500 fathers and daughters in there dancing and stuff. It was a really good night. It was a really successful event. February 11th through February 27th, this Arthritis Foundation exercise program is held at 1:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. February 11th through February 12th is Senior Week Bowling. We have time slots available. Just call us for details. February 11th through February 14th is registration for youth spring soccer. The season begins March the 11th at Vfield. February 11th through February 28th is registration for spring adult volleyball. Games are on Thursdays, and all those games are played at the Republic Community Center. February 13th through March the 13th is toddler tumbling. That's held on Tuesdays at 5:30 or 6:30, and that's rages 2 to 5. February 14th and 17th is Schools Out program. We host Schools Out program from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that's for ages 6 or completed kindergarten all the way up to age 12. February 14th through March the 7th is Todd Academy. That's held Fridays at 10:30 a.m. for ages 2 to 5. This coming Monday, February 17th, in observance of President's Day, the public city offices will be closed. February 17th through March the 7th is registration for junior high and high school basketball. That's for 7th through 12th grade boys and girls. February 19th through March the 26th, once again, Senior Week Bowling calls for details. Toddler Open Gym is held every Monday at 10 a.m. That's for ages infants to ages 5 to age 5. February 24th to March 14th is registration for summer adult volleyball. All the games are played at Bourbon White, and that's a 14-game season. February 27th is Senior Movie Day, 3 p.m. Movie is Sleepless in Seattle.
No comment. Daniel, do you have anything? Usually you have a good one. Just checking. Go ahead, sir.
How'd the teddy bears took over go?
I'm about 99% sure the teddy bear didn't go.
Didn't go?
Didn't go.
Didn't happen, or just wasn't?
No, it didn't go.
Oh.
Then there was no teddy bears that's left over. We didn't.
Oh.
But it could have been something to do with our dates. We're gonna try to get in March, I think, and see what happens.
Sounded like a good idea to me.
We wanted to participate when we were on town, so.
We held it up before, it went over really well, and this time it just didn't.
I'm glad there's a father and daughter.
Yeah, it was good. It was really
They didn't do
good.
it?
They didn't go.
Jared, thank you, sir. Boards, commission, and committee schedule, Board of Adjustment, March 6th, Capital Improvements, February 15th, City Council, February 24th, and March 10th, Plan and Zoning, February 18th. On the old business and table items, resolution number 13-R-58 was tabled to the February 10th meeting. I'd like to have a motion to table that until March 10th at the request of the applicants.
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. On the next item, need a motion to have the second reading of bill number 14-03.
Motion.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the city administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement with the City of Springfield for the acquisition of spectrometry, providing a more accurate geographical information system.
Need a motion to have final passage, bill number 14-03.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Welcome, Mr. Tyson. Give us an overview, sir.
Thank you.
This resolution will authorize the city to participate with the city of Springfield, the Greene County Assessor's Office, as well as city utilities and a couple of other municipalities in the area in the purchase of orthophotography. The proprietary term for that is pictometry, but this will give us aerial photography of the city, as well as oblique photography of the city, which are photographs taken at an angle rather than from the bird's eye view. We will get that from north, south, east, and west directions, so we'll have 5 images of all the areas of the city in total. We've asked to receive images for all of our current city limits, plus parts of our urban service territory, which are the areas that we plan to grow into in coming years. Again, this is a cost share arrangement with those other municipalities, so we are getting this product at a very low cost relative to what it would cost us if we were to try to do something like this on our own.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Tyson? Mr. Clickenbeer.
Since they're taking those, angles from different directions, are they able to supply that by seeing that together for three-dimensional view?
Depending on who they is, yes. We cannot, I don't believe the city of Springfield does it themselves, but I do believe they contract with somebody to do that for them. Because I have seen, that essentially.
And that's how like Google does their
Yes,
flyover, or
correct.
Apple does their flyovers on the apps, they shoot them at like a 45-degree angle coming in.
That's right. They use the LiDAR data, which gives us elevations, lay that over the images, and then they use whatever application to produce those three-dimensional images, which is why on Google Earth, if you zoom in on Springfield, you'll see three-dimensional images, but you won't over Republic. That's not anything we've honestly looked into. But it is possible with the information we'll be getting.
So say what, since we will own that data, correct?
Correct.
Would we be able to contact somebody like a Google and supply them our data? Because they probably don't want to pay to do a small city, but if we've already done it, maybe they would add it into their information. But that would maybe help with realtors or other things to, you know,
Sure.
promote sales of the area.
Right. And you can do it on a small scale by yourself. I'm not saying I can do it.
Sure.
But Google does supply some free software where you could take
You could
particular specific buildings, and then you send it into Google, and they'll put it into Google Earth, and then you can view it three-dimensionally. So if there were a select number of buildings, I'm sure it could be done, but I'll also look into it on a broader scale.
I would say if we hand them the data, they would probably do it, I would think. So, thank you, I'd appreciate you checking that.
Not a problem.
Additional questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Tyson?
If approved, what's the turnaround time on that?
I believe the flight is scheduled for later this month or early in March, and we should have the product, I would guess, within a couple of months after that. There's quite a bit of touch-up that has to be done to merge all the tiles together properly before they send it to us.
And is this accessible to the general public?
It will be. The last flight we did is accessible now through our internet mapping service, through our city website. It'll just be a matter of getting this new product, and then hopefully we'll be inputting that into a new IMS application that we'll hopefully be bringing online later this year.
I just want to say, I just find it amazing that we can do this.
It's rather amazing.
Yes, but I have no questions, just a statement.
That's true.
I'm in awe.
And then every time they show us pictures of stuff they use, it's amazing.
He wants a heads up because he doesn't want to be outside when it comes.
Yeah.
Gotta put a bush right out higher.
That's right. Oh, gotta bring that up.
That's a long story. Additional questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Tyson? Anything at all? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard.
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson.
Aye.
Councilmember Hutchison.
Aye.
Councilmember Bashir.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Mendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Poole.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrelson.
Motion carries 8-0. On the next item on the agenda. Need a motion to have the second reading of bill number 14-04. Motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. What's on there, chief?
I'm really excited, I'm sorry.
Outline schemes are stalled.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the city administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement for automatic and mutual aid with the Willard Fire Protection District for fire services.
Get a motion to have final passage of bill number 14-04.
Motion?
Second.
Welcome, Chief Compton. Please give us an overview again.
All right, now we're back on track. This, aid agreement pretty much mirrors the one we have with, Battlefield Fire Protection District in the city of Springfield. By doing this with new computer-aided dispatch systems that Greene County has, in the CAD system, we can build run cards for high hazard areas and a standard run card for anywhere else in the city. Currently, we have a mutual aid agreement with Willard Fire Protection District. It does not allow us to use the CAD to its full extent by building run cards for the high target areas that we have. The agreement would also, this agreement would update the mutual aid agreement that we have with them. And like I said, it mirrors the other ones that are out there.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton?
And just so you know, we called them twice, we're even, they've called us a couple times, and we've called them, I only call them if it's below 2 degrees or so. Which that happened last week, so they run a call for us while we were tied up on a house fire.
Well, we appreciate that. Questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Harrelson. Aye. Councilmember Paul.
Aye.
Councilmember Mendez.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Brashear.
Aye.
Councilmember Hutchison.
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson.
Aye.
Councilmember Clickinger.
Aye.
Motion carries 8-0. Thank you, Chief. Compton, on to new business. Need a motion to have the first reading of bill number 14-05.
Motion. Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Resolution, oh, that's not correct.
Here.
Speed things up. Do this. Let Dwayne read it.
That's not gonna help, I don't think, no. Just substitute Nixa for where it says Willard.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing and directing the city administrator of the City of Republic, Missouri to enter into an agreement for automatic and mutual aid with the Nixa Fire Protection District for fire services.
Thank you, Brendan. Chief
Okay.
Compton, give us an overview, sir.
This is a revised mutual aid agreement. In 2006, we had signed a mutual aid agreement with the Nixa Fire Protection District. And the difference between the mutual aid and the auto aid, the mutual aid is a request-based only. It's not an automatic dispatch. In 2006, since that time, there has been 2 times that Nixa has called us for assistance. And their fire protection district is quite a bit larger than, when you talk about Nixa, you think, well, we're going to the city of Nixa. Well, that's not really what happened. Their fire protection district comes up to the Green Christian County line south of the city limits of Battlefield, and actually extends past the city limits of Battlefield west towards, more northwest towards our city limits. But they don't come over into Greene County. Their district is approximately 53 square miles in size. And the 2 times we helped them has been with tankers on some rather large structure fires in the northwest corner of their district. They've called us. We've actually been closer response than some of their units. So this revises the 2006 agreement. The agreement is, to be truthful with you, is mirrors the auto aid, except the word auto is gone and mutual aid has been inserted.
Questions, comments, discussion for Chief Compton? Anything at all? All right, this is a first read. If you have questions or comments between now and then, now and the next Street, please give a chief comment. Thank you, sir. On to other business, resolution number 14-R-05, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the execution of a license agreement with Republic Sale for use of property located at Miller Park. I'd like to have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
My bad. Get a motion and a second. My fault. No vote. Sorry, Mr. Keeling, please give us an overview. It's been one of those days, hasn't it, Mr. Erickson?
Yes. This is an annual license agreement between the City of Republic and Republic Saddle Club for their requested use of the rodeo arena located within Miller Park. They host about 5 to 7 events a year down there. They are a good tenant. They run quality events, no known issues.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, discussion from Mr. Keeling?
Jared, how long have they had their, leased?
For as long as I've been here, maybe somebody with historical, I don't know.
Historical life away, hear it?
A long time.
For at least 10 years, but I'm sure it's much longer than that. They, as any other non-profit, they change presidents every 3 or 4 years, but every one of them have been really good to work with. Sorry, you want.
No problem.
I'll stop.
If we could go back and ensure that we have that information for the next time we go through this, for Mr. Bashir's sake and the council's sake. Additional questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Keeling? Anything at all? I'll take the vote now, Ron. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 8-0. Thank you, sir. On to the next item, resolution number 14-R-06, resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, awarding the bid for the supply and delivery of 2 new zero-turn radius hose for the Parks and Recreation Department. Need a motion? Motion.
Second.
A motion is second. Mr. Keeling, give us an overview, sir.
Certainly, if you remember in our budget talks, 2013 was a tough year on mowers. We had, as Wayne likes to say, almost 2 mowing cycles. Wayne is here tonight, Wayne Hawkins, Carpenter Facility Maintenance Superintendent, for any technical questions on the mowers. We decided to go ahead and replace 2 of our slightly used mowers with new mowers this year. Went out to bid for the purchasing manual with 2 mandatory trade-ins. Both of the trade-ins were John Deere mowers. Received 7 bids back from 5 different vendors. Legacy Farm and Lawn of Lockwood was recognized and reserved as the lowest quality bid. The bid for the 2 new mowers outright was $27,190.76. The trade-in amount for our 2 used mowers was $10,916, for a total net bid of $16,274.76. It was a good bid for us, so we budgeted $23,000 in our 2014 budget for this expense. We did that off our preliminary projections of what we received last year for projected value of the trade-ins and the new mowers, and pleasantly surprised when we got these back. But any technical questions on the mowers, Wayne would be happy to entertain.
Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Keeling or Mr. Rock?
I don't even know if I said it, but the new mowers are John Deere
997,
997 diesel model.
72-inch cut,
I'm sorry?
72-inch cut.
72-inch. So, we do have one of those in stock, or we have 2?
We have one.
One in stock right now, quality one.
Questions, comments, discussion?
What's the typical life on these, just out of curiosity? I mean, how much wear and tear can they take?
Well, in my opinion, 4 to 5 years or 1,500 to 2,000 hours, you need to be trading them. If you take care of them, you could squeak out 4,000 hours, but other components are gonna wear out, like alternators and spindles and things like that, which are quite expensive. So you get past about 4 years, and you start spending $1,000 or $1,500 a year keeping them running.
How old though were the 2 that were traded in?
2007 and 2001, both of them had over 2,000 hours. One of them had 2,700 hours on them.
2001 was a huge mower, right?
Well, they were both 72-inch cut, but the 01 was a front deck hydraulic mower.
Additional questions, comments, discussion? call. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 14-R-07, resolution of the City Council of the State of Republic of Missouri authorizing the purchase of one new police vehicle. Need a motion? Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Welcome, Chief Lowe. Give us the overview, sir.
Well, this is that time of year where we come forward saying it's time to start ordering some new police vehicles. And the first one is always a favorite of the council. We're ordering off the state bid through Landmark Dodge. It's up in Independent, Missouri. They got the state bid this year, so we're requesting permission to order a new Dodge Police Charger so we can rotate out one of our older vehicles that's starting to have some mechanical problems. And that will be rotated, thanks to the agreement we have with the schools, that will be rotated to the schools.
Not that it has mechanical problems.
Well, it's just older, so as an emergency
It's
vehicle,
gonna
when
be
we drive, it'll be in fine shape,
Yeah.
but as an emergency vehicle, we don't wanna have something that, it's just,
When they step on the gas, we don't want to break.
yeah, we want to go. But just like with the lawnmowers, we don't want something that's going to be, it's nearing its end of useful life as an emergency vehicle.
Right. Questions, comments, discussed with Chief Hudson. Mr. Bashir?
Speaking of rotation, if we need drivers to bring those cars back. Grand here, I think we rotate, I think my council.
I think Joe has experience on this,
I've got shotguns.
Excuse me, I've got privilege, so I know who's gonna go. Thank you, Mr. Bashir. Is there any other pertinent questions for Chief Lowe?
I got one.
Mr. Hudson, go ahead.
So you give the Dodge to the school and then
We'll
one,
get
or loan or whatever the terminology
We're
is,
loaning, leasing kind of
Right.
to them, and we'll take one of the ones they currently have.
which is a Ford.
No, they don't.
They got the Dodges.
They do?
And we'll take that back and run it through our usual auto auction or whatever.
Oh,
They get it for about a year.
so you have all Dodges?
We actually we have two Crown Vics that we picked up used. One of those will probably be one of the cars that's going out of system. And we did want to give that to the school. And then we've got, 3 Ford Explorers, which we've been making a lot of use of over the last few months.
So Dodge is the way to go from now on, it looks like?
We're gonna mix it with Ford Explorer, a few Ford
I mean,
Explorers, but
as
primarily
far as
Dodges.
the sedan, though, you're.
For right now, we've evaluated them. Peter Bradford, as many of you are familiar with, he's our fleet expert. We sent him off some training on that. They have a big conference up in Kansas City area for fleet managers across the country, and he evaluated and looked at the cost of them. For right now, the Dodge is probably the best of all worlds. In the future, he's recommending after a couple of years, we start looking at the Chevy, their new entry into the market.
That's at a heftier price tag though, too. That
It's
Chevy
about
is-
$4,000
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
And
Dodge is definitely the most, we get the most for our value out of the Chargers, and then the Chevy is at the top end. But
They're kind of tight. They are. They're a little tight. Good question. Additional questions, comments, discussion for Chief Lowe? Those are all good questions. So when are we gonna be driving this back?
We will probably order it tomorrow, and roughly anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks, we'll get the call.
Already up on right after this.
I've seen Danny drive. Any additional questions, comments, discussion?
Do you get new rear overheads?
We will be ordering those separately from the car, because we can purchase it and Peter can install it at a substantial savings to what they would charge us from their bill.
Striping and everything else goes right on. Good questions.
I have
Anything
one.
else? Mr. Bashir, go ahead.
24,000 for the car.
Yeah.
Does that include the equipment that would be put on after you receive it?
No, that does not. That is the state bid price approximately.
And all cars, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. You just have to apply everything else to it. Mr. Wilson, go ahead, sir.
You do transfer the equipment from the car you're getting rid of to the car you're buying, do you, or do you not?
In In this case, some of it will be, such as the cage and the shell back seat would be transferred. But in this case, the light bar that is on the car, that's going to the school. So that's part of the idea, and we're hoping from the agreement, the school will actually be purchasing a new light bar to go onto this. That way we're giving them one that's mounted professionally. But the police radio, the radar, all that gets transferred over.
That's what I thought, but I'm sure.
Additional questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Must be Ron's email.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
A motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say.
I need that too, sorry. Yeah, we're only picking up one of them, so it's not like we need a bunch of them to drive. This is one, because the next one, I'm waiting for Laura to get, Laura, I'm waiting for you to get that purchasing policy revised, so I can get the other two ordered. Those will come out on solid four.
Sir, one of my new guys, we're living in Kansas City, drives back and forth every third day. If this comes in, he hasn't moved, he's actually moving to the house up by you. He can probably get one of those right here.